Hey guys, McReaps here and welcome to my review of Titan Souls. This is the first review on the channel, hopefully of many reviews in the future. I greatly appreciate if you guys recommend games for me to play and I will review them, give you my honest opinion. Let's just start off in true Turtle Biscuit fashion. We'll take a look at the options menu. This game is obviously catered towards controller based input. PC was an obvious afterthought, but it says that as you're loading up, it says strongly recommends a controller. So if you miss all them warnings and then you bitch and whine about keyboard controls, shame on you. As for the options, very basic: music, sound effects, volume, resolution. There's a nice little unique timer feature down there, like a built-in time trial / speedrun feature, and you got the pad rumble and all that goodness. Let's go off of there. I'm just going to get straight into the game. What is Titan Souls? We've completed the game. We've tried all sorts of different things here. And even though this says 3 hours, I completed the game in 1 hour 40 minutes. And then I've been trying to do this review and just bumbling around because it's my first review. I've not been hitting the topics that I want to hit in a viable time. So we're going to take a look at this save. Don't worry, it's not far in. We are still in the tutorial. There's going to be strictly no spoilers in this video, barring the tutorial mobs. If that's a big issue for you, then stop watching right now. I'll give you my honest opinion right now. Is the game worth buying? Yes. Simply put, yes. Is it worth it at its current price? That completely depends on you. It can be beaten within an hour and a half. If $15 doesn't justify that, then don't buy it at $15. There's different means. If you take a look down in the link in the description, there's my referral link to g2a.com. You can go on there, you can just in the search bar type Titan Souls and you can buy it for £6 or around about $9. So you can get it cheaper, you can get it almost half price if you go down that road. Would I have felt... personally, I bought it from g2a.com because I read a ton of negative reviews because this game doesn't justify the price tag. And I'm here to tell you guys that you're entitled to your opinion, but I think you're wrong. This game justifies every penny of that $15 or £10 or whatever your local equivalent is. It's glorious in every way. The pixel art is good, it's cute, the animations are good, it's not cute, but it's it's not cute, it's pixel art, it's pixely. The story, there is none. I'll just go ahead and say that right now. The reason I'm doing this video is because I see so many negative reviews, people saying this is a terrible game because and then fill in the because with this feature isn't there or it's too pricey. If you're moaning at the price of a game, don't buy it. Don't buy the game at that price. Don't say it's a bad game because of the price and because you completed it within an hour or within 2 hours. I completed the game killing 13 Titans. It turns out there's 19 Titans within the game. And I found that out with a quick Google search. I don't know where the others are. I know where some of them are because I literally just missed them out. Or I tried them once and I moved on to another one. But that's a cool little feature, right? You get stuck on something, you can pick and choose which Titans you want to kill. And I think, oh, excuse me, I think you only need to kill, is it 7 or 8 Titans to advance to the next 2, and then you have the final battle. So it's 9 in total. Yeah, you can beat the game by getting past the tutorial, which counts towards your Titan kills, and then killing 9 more. You can do that, and you will complete the game. But to me, that's not completing the game. Completing the game is killing every Titan that's in the game. So I am looking forward to finding and killing the others and having fun while doing it. So I'm just going to show you what a Titan is. It's these big objects. We're not really sure what they are story-wise. Oh, whoa. Okay, this one's a little bit... I'm trying to give a review. I managed to kill this thing, like, instantly in my Let's Play. If you're not going to buy this game, by the way, if you're looking at it now going, it doesn't really justify the money for me. I'm a story person. If there's no story, I'm not going to get it. Or if it's like if I'm going to complete it in 2 hours, I'd rather watch it. Then my Let's Play is down under this channel. I would appreciate if you took a look at that, had a little peruse. If there's a point in there where you go, holy shit, I actually want to play this. Stop looking at the... Hey, stop that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I think we've got him here. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Damn it. Oh, we missed. I'm just going to fight him. I'm going to shove in my face. 2, 3, 4. There we go. So every one of them has a weakness, and its weakness is fairly obvious. Like a boil on the end of a nose, okay? Or like that mole from the guy from Austin Powers. Molly, molly, molly. So this is effectively that big mole. You can see there's either a glowing area, or it's just a fairly obvious weak spot within the Titan itself. And if you hit that once, it dies. If it hits you once, you die. That's the premise of the game, and it's pretty cool. Then you'll recall your arrow, you'll get the souls, you'll move on to the next one. That is the game in a nutshell. So why do I like it so much? Like, is there anything in the game that I don't like? And there is. There's one thing in the game that I don't detest it, but I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan in any way. And it's simply, this area here is just the tutorial area, okay? And these are all fairly close together. You get 4 bosses within this area, and that's fine. There's a little hub. You go to the bosses, you kill them, you move on to the next section, and the next section just happens to be more open worldy type thing. Now, the open world area, because of the nature of the game, is just boss battle. There's no fodder, there's no filler, there's no worrying about creatures killing you or native enemies to different biomes, because there's different biomes over there. There's none of that. So it makes it pointless. It makes those big vast areas completely pointless, and going from one point to the other is a massive time sink in the game. And then you'll reach these little side hubs. So you'll start at the main hub. There's no mini-map to speak of, but the elevator that you go up acts kind of as a map. So you get like just a visual indication of, if I go in that direction, I'm going to find 2 hubs. And there's 2 hubs at each point. So you go over, you got to find the Titans, and then sometimes some of them are pretty far away from your little respawn point, which is here, so your little checkpoint. And you can die in seconds in these bosses. You can literally walk in, get one-shotted instantly, and then you've got to do the whole death animation and run back. So that to me is the only drawback of the game. The areas to get to the Titans are too vast. Like there's no explanation for having it as big as it is. It might be just an aesthetic thing for them, but they could have reduced the size of the second stage of the game by half and kept as many Titans in there. They could have kept all the Titans in there as they are right now, and just reduced the scale of the world, because there's no point. There's no progression in the game. There's no need to go and explore all these secret little areas, because a lot of them give nothing more than a nice little vista to look at. But that's the only bugbear of the game to me. Everything else is absolutely fine. The controls are nice and fluid. They're responsive. Everything that you do in the game is deliberate. Like, you can't move when you fire your arrow. You cannot move when you're drawing the arrow. And when you're calling the arrow back, you cannot move. So that there was somebody on Steam that complained that this feature is clearly broken because it's a game of mobility and these titans hit far too quickly. But to me, that's half of the battle. Like, picking your point when you're going to go in to actually take that shot. Remember, you've got one arrow, you've got one shot, you've got one shot in your gun, and you better make that shot count. So it's about being precise, it's about being quick and patient. Like, you're not going to be able to just spam fire something, nor should you be able to. So to me, that kind of a review, he gave the game a bad review, and he said the feature was clearly broken and pointless. It should have been that you can still move around and fire, but that would have been game breaking in my opinion, because there's some titans out there where you get a split second of it, you get a bit of relief for a split second, and if you don't nail that shot in that second, chances are you're dead, because it's taking you this amount of time to draw the bow and fire, and the next onslaught is on its way. So if you don't nail that shot, you're dead. And that's the biggest part of the game. That's the draw of the game. Like, precision and skill is definitely rewarded. You can luck your way through some bosses, don't get me wrong. If you check my Let's Play out, plug. There's bosses in there that I just flat out luck shot. And I'm quite happy to admit that. I don't mind. But then there's bosses in there where I've got a strategy in mind, and then nailing your strategy, getting that shot where you've only got that split second, that makes this game worthwhile. So the review, I don't do a whole score based system, namely because this is the first review that I've ever done, so give me feedback guys, let me know what you think of it. But I'm just going to say whether I think the game's good or bad and whether I'd recommend it, and that's how I'd do it. So there's no score based system. Would I recommend this game to a friend? I most undoubtedly would. It is a great little game. It's great for the price. The review that I read, or the multiple reviews that I've read that say the game doesn't warrant the price tag, I'm sorry, but I just think you're wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. I think you've gone in there with expectations that are just, like a lot of people these days, your expectations are just set way too high. The hype for the game might have been too real, but for me, there was no hype for this game. I just seen it, I thought it looks pretty cool and tried it on face value. If you go in there with no expectations, this game is definitely worth it. There's also reviews out there that give the game a negative review for something it doesn't have. Now you could say every game's bad if you go down that train of thought, because there's always something extra that a game could have. The game for me, for what it's got and what it does it very well, so I would highly recommend it. Take from that what you will. For those of you that aren't going to buy the game, and you definitely set on not buying the game, then I encourage you to scroll down, go in the description, check out my Let's Play and watch that. It is a good fun game. I rage quite hard sometimes during this because it's frustrating. It's one of those games, and you can play it through me. You can play the game through me. For the people that are going to buy it, please do one thing for me. Stop watching Let's Plays. Do not go to wikis. Don't look at anything that's coming boss wise, because that, for every boss that you watch or you know how to kill, it's going to diminish the value of the game for you. Trust me, it will diminish the value of the game for you. And I think that's where a lot of these negative reviews are coming from. If you know how to kill a boss, sometimes they're very easy. The biggest thing of killing these bosses is figuring out the strategy. Do that for yourself. Do yourself a favour. Pick the game up. Play it for yourself. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next review.